Tensions are rising in the hip-hop world as Jay-Z reportedly scrambles to distance himself from the storm surrounding Diddy's latest legal entanglements. The pressure comes as Netflix gears up to release 50 Cent's explosive new documentary, Sean Combs' The Reckoning, next week, a project that allegedly features video evidence linking Jay-Z to Diddy's controversies. The timing couldn't be more intense. Leaked footage from inside federal prison shows Diddy under scrutiny, adding fuel to the already blazing fire. 50 Cent officially confirmed the documentary's premiere date, December 2nd, with a pointed social media caption. "They said I was capping. What happened?" Fans had long speculated that the project might be a bluff, but multiple media outlets now confirm it's very real. For Diddy, the anticipation is likely nerve-wracking. During his recent trial, whispers suggested he aimed to impress or intimidate 50 Cent, who is notorious for trolling him. With decades of insider knowledge and a trove of evidence collected over 20 years, 50 Cent appears poised to deliver a documentary that could reveal facets of Diddy's dealings even federal investigators hadn't fully uncovered. In interviews, 50 Cent has maintained a careful stance, expressing surprise at the allegations surrounding Diddy while clarifying that he isn't the source of the claims. "I didn't make the allegations," he noted. "I see it in the news like everyone else." Yet he admitted that Diddy's invitation to parties in certain projects always fell off, a discomfort that kept him at a distance. He also referenced recent claims from men alleging long-past abuses, acknowledging how difficult it is to process trauma that spans decades. When asked about Jay-Z's alleged involvement, 50 Cent was cautious. "I didn't know exactly what I was saying at the time," he admitted, pointing out that while the Diddy situation unfolded, Jay-Z remained conspicuously quiet. The implication is clear. The coming documentary might not just reshape the narrative around Diddy, it could cast new, uncomfortable light on his associates as well. As the December 2nd release approaches, the music and legal worlds alike are bracing. With 50 Cent at the helm, Sean Combs, The Reckoning promises to be more than a typical celebrity exposé. It's shaping up to be a meticulously assembled reckoning that could reverberate far beyond Hollywood and the hip-hop scene. It now seems clear that Jay-Z's team had at least some awareness that his name was starting to surface alongside these accusations. With his family and private life in mind, the situation feels especially unsettling. The claims being circulated are extreme, and the impact on reputation alone is already significant. Meanwhile, 50 Cent insists his documentary series is not centered on current internet rumors or gossip. According to him, the project focuses instead on the structure of what he describes as Diddy's alleged criminal network and how it supposedly operated behind the scenes. There are even suggestions that evidence featured in the documentary may have contributed to the opening of a new criminal investigation. Diddy is now facing additional accusations, this time brought forward by a man in Florida. According to a report from ABC News, Los Angeles authorities were alerted after a Florida police department received a formal complaint from the alleged victim, who lives there. Investigators in LA are now reviewing the claims, as that is where the incidents allegedly occurred. The man, identified as music producer Jonathan Hay, previously filed a civil lawsuit in July as one of the John Doe plaintiffs. He claims that an initial incident happened in Los Angeles in September 2020, during which inappropriate conduct allegedly occurred. In a second incident in 2021, Hay alleges he was taken to another location, where he says he was restrained and later assaulted. Diddy, who is currently incarcerated at a federal facility in New Jersey after being convicted earlier this year on prostitution-related charges, has not yet had representatives respond to the most recent lawsuit. These allegations are just part of a much wider legal storm, as more than 100 civil cases have reportedly been filed. And while nothing has been legally proven against anyone else, many fear that even a single criminal case could potentially implicate others in his inner circle, including Jay-Z, who has long been known as one of Diddy's closest friends. Diddy has even publicly described Jay-Z as someone who knows all his secrets, which has only fueled more speculation. Public opinion is also being shaped heavily by social media, where people are already suggesting that anyone who associated with Diddy, including Beyoncé and others in his circle, could be investigated next. Images of Jay-Z and Diddy together at parties over the years are now being reshared, adding to the perception, whether fair or not, that he was deeply connected. A former associate spoke on Jay-Z's influence, describing him as a powerful figure even back then, someone capable of making or breaking careers. That same person explained why they chose not to sign with certain labels, saying they refused to compromise themselves or adopt extreme imagery just to achieve fame. Online personality DJ Academics also reacted to Netflix's announcement, claiming that 50 Cent likely has damaging material against Diddy and individuals connected to him. Many people have also questioned how, despite a larger RICO case, only Diddy was convicted while no other major associates were charged, raising speculation about what is still hidden. Even 50 Cent's personal motivations have been questioned. Some believe his long-standing rivalry with Diddy played a role in his determination to see him exposed and imprisoned, while others suspect there may be more personal reasons tied to past relationships and conflicts. With the documentary's release approaching, speculation continues to swirl, reputations are on the line, and the world is now watching to see who else might be dragged into the fallout. It's now clear that 50 Cent wasn't joking back when he first announced he was going to create a documentary about Diddy. At the time, many brushed it off as talk, but it appears he followed through exactly as he said he would. Netflix has issued an official press release, which was subsequently picked up by Variety and other major outlets, confirming the release of a documentary series titled Sean Combs: The Reckoning, executive produced by Curtis "50 Cent" Jackson. The premiere date has been set for December 2nd, and the project will be available exclusively on Netflix. From a strategic standpoint, this is a major move for 50 Cent. And while he has always been a polarizing figure himself, he's not exactly known for being a traditional moral messenger. Historically, documentaries of this nature often place a polished or socially conscious personality at the center to guide the narrative, but 50 is very much just 50. That said, no direct accusations have ever placed him in the same category as the claims now surrounding Diddy. What has fueled even more attention is the resurfacing of old speculation involving unnamed industry elites allegedly appearing in controversial footage tied to Diddy. As additional material has emerged, many online voices have begun to claim that one of the people seen with him was Jay-Z. However, it is important to note that no verified evidence or official confirmation has been released to publicly support that claim. There are also growing rumors that Diddy may be cooperating with federal authorities. Historically, he has been perceived as someone who always keeps leverage in relationships, a person who prefers to stay several steps ahead by maintaining insider knowledge on those around him. Whether this means cooperation, negotiation, or simply legal maneuvering remains unclear, and as of now, no official documentation has confirmed such an arrangement. Some online narratives go further, suggesting that if authorities hold damaging material involving powerful individuals, those same individuals could eventually be compelled to testify. These remain purely speculative, driven mostly by public imagination and the sheer scale of the ongoing investigations. What is confirmed, however, is that the federal probe into Diddy has been ongoing for an extended period and was tightly controlled by Homeland Security investigations. In fact, reports indicate that even some officers involved in recent raids did not know whose property they were entering until arrival, highlighting the level of secrecy attached to the case. There have also been unverified accusations that members of law enforcement were influenced or paid off through intermediaries connected to Diddy's security team. While those claims have circulated online, there has been no formal evidence presented to validate such allegations. It is common, however, for high-profile individuals to keep former law enforcement or security officials close as a measure of protection and credibility, not necessarily corruption. Much like how Diddy successfully partnered with major brands in the past and expanded his influence far beyond music, critics argue that he attempted to build protective relationships at every level of power. Some have even compared this strategy to that of other high-profile figures in history who surrounded themselves with political, corporate, or institutional connections, though again, these are comparisons, not proven parallels. One of Diddy's former associates, Gene Deal, has suggested that Diddy may have acted as a confidential source in the past. If that were true, it could partially explain why he appeared to operate so boldly for so long. However, there is no official confirmation from any government agency that he ever held such a role, and claims like these remain in the realm of allegation. What is undeniable now is that the walls are closing in on this story from all directions: the courts, the media, the public, and now Netflix. Whether this documentary ends up exposing major truths, reshaping reputations, or simply adding another layer to an already complex narrative remains to be seen. But one thing is clear: when December 2nd arrives, the world is going to be watching very closely. Reports suggest that Diddy may have leveraged significant financial resources to maintain protection and influence during his legal troubles. Allegedly, some individuals on his security team were compensated for specialized tasks, and there are claims that he maintained relationships with certain law enforcement personnel through budgeted arrangements. Observers note that such a network, if true, could provide connections and support in complex legal situations. Some sources speculate that Diddy may have cooperated with federal authorities in a confidential capacity, though this has not been officially confirmed. The theory is that, as a potential informant, he could have provided intelligence while minimizing personal risk. Historically, high-profile individuals often rely on legal and investigative networks to navigate complicated situations, which can include former law enforcement officers and private investigators hired by legal teams. Meanwhile, TMZ recently reported that a presidential pardon for Diddy is being considered, which could potentially lead to his early release. If granted, Diddy might have been freed as early as December. According to sources, Diddy's legal team reached out to contacts close to former President Donald Trump shortly after sentencing, and the possibility of commuting the sentence caused internal debate within the administration. Some staff reportedly advised against the pardon, reflecting the sensitivity and controversy surrounding the decision. Amid this backdrop, 50 Cent has been vocal about holding Diddy and others accountable, with some claiming he was prepared to contact the White House regarding any potential pardon. Ultimately, 50 Cent's intervention may not have been necessary, complicating matters further. Reports emerged that Diddy allegedly violated prison rules by consuming alcohol. If true, this could extend his sentence, delaying his release to June 2028 rather than May. Additional claims include a prohibited three-way phone call from prison. Diddy's legal team has denied certain allegations and notes that he was enrolled in a prison rehab program, which could have qualified him for a reduced sentence of up to a year. NBC News correspondent Chloe Malice and defense attorney Sarah Azari provided analysis, emphasizing that while some reports are unverified, the situation remains fluid, and Diddy's prison status, legal strategy, and potential for early release continue to attract national attention. Sean Diddy Combs is working to set the record straight about his life behind bars. His representative, Judah Angelmere, told reporters that a three-way phone call to take place at Fort Dix involving one of Diddy's lawyers and another individual, but emphasized that there was nothing improper about it. Those lawyers should have known better, he said, noting that the call, while unconventional, did not violate any rules. Regarding reports that Diddy had been drinking in prison, Angelmere was emphatic: Combs is not consuming alcohol. He has been admitted into a specialized rehabilitation program offered at Fort Dix, which could potentially shorten his sentence. Diddy's team denies claims he consumed alcohol in prison, emphasizing his focus on sobriety and participation in Fort Dix's Life Connections program. Transferred to a low-security facility, he appears upbeat and engaged in library work. Meanwhile, 50 Cent mocked him online, yet continues thriving professionally, balancing business success with public trolling. Even during interviews, 50 Cent shared insight into his complicated relationship with Diddy. He emphasized that while he personally hasn't had direct confrontations with Puff, he has never fully trusted or liked some of the actions Diddy has taken over the years. "I haven't had issues with Puff," 50 said. "I don't like things that he would do. But we weren't actively doing anything to each other on the street. That's the uncomfortable part." He recalled a moment that made him uneasy. Diddy once suggested taking him shopping. "I looked at him like, what you just say? Let me move before I mess up this wedding," 50 recalled, referencing an incident at Chris Lighty's wedding. He noted the gesture felt unusual and inappropriate, highlighting how Diddy's behavior often crossed boundaries in ways that made others uncomfortable. 50 Cent has long harbored a deep animosity toward Diddy, which extended even to Diddy's sentencing. He wrote letters to the judge, urging a severe sentence, citing concerns about public safety. In one letter, He described a 20-year dispute with Diddy and stressed the potential danger Diddy posed to others. "Dear Judge, I've had an ongoing dispute with Poppy for over 20 years. He is very dangerous. Multiple times I have feared for my life. I urge you to consider the safety of the general public before allowing him back into society. There hasn't been enough time for him to reform or make meaningful adjustments." The letter went on to highlight the government's extensive resources deployed during investigations, suggesting the level of concern surrounding Diddy's influence and actions. Beyond criminal matters, Diddy is facing over 100 civil cases. Experts note that even a single case with sufficient evidence could trigger additional criminal investigations. As more witnesses come forward, patterns of alleged coercion and abuse may emerge, transforming what once seemed like isolated claims into a broader, documented history of misconduct. 50 Cent's forthcoming Netflix documentary is expected to examine these controversies in detail, shedding light on both the civil and criminal allegations against Diddy, and providing a closer look at the broader implications of his actions within the industry. Just when it seemed the Diddy saga had quieted, the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department confirmed that they are actively investigating new claims against him. The investigation centers on allegations from Jonathan Hay, Rihanna's former publicist, who also revealed that he is one of the John Doe plaintiffs who filed a lawsuit against Diddy earlier this year. The allegations, which date back to 2020, involve Hay's professional collaboration with C.J. Wallace, the son of the late Notorious B.I.G., and Diddy during the production of Big Papa House Mix. Hay claims that during this time, he encountered Diddy engaging in inappropriate behavior involving adult material and personal property connected to Biggie. He alleges that Diddy's conduct included verbal and physical actions that Hay found disturbing. Hay further asserts that C.J. Wallace and another associate, Willie Mack, facilitated a meeting where these alleged incidents occurred. It's important to note that C.J. Wallace recently filed a lawsuit against Jonathan Hay, denying the allegations and asserting that Hay's claims are false. Diddy himself has also categorically denied all accusations, describing them as meritless and expressing his intent to contest them in court. Law enforcement's involvement signals that the authorities consider the claims serious enough to warrant investigation. While criminal cases require proof beyond a reasonable doubt, civil lawsuits operate under a much lower evidentiary standard. This distinction means that, even if Diddy successfully defends against criminal charges, he may still face liability in civil court. In a civil case, he could be compelled to testify, produce documents, and respond directly to allegations, creating potential legal exposure that doesn't exist in criminal proceedings. Legal experts note that Diddy is already facing a large volume of civil claims, many of which emerged after his federal indictment. While a criminal acquittal may provide some leverage, it does not automatically resolve civil actions. The standard of proof in civil court is far lower than in criminal court, meaning ongoing lawsuits can still advance independently of criminal outcomes. Settlements, such as the one reached with Cassie Ventura, have been affected by previous verdicts, but the majority of claims continue, each addressing different allegations. AS investigators in Los Angeles continue their work. The combination of civil and criminal scrutiny ensures that Diddy faces mounting legal pressure as civil cases proceed, where the lower standard of proof can result in monetary liability. Leaked footage and witnesses, including Courtney Burgess, allege involvement of high-profile celebrities. Meanwhile, Jay-Z remains silent amid speculation. 50 Cent's upcoming documentary threatens to intensify scrutiny and public attention.